A very good morning, beautiful people. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another reaction video. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday morning, David Jr.'s close allies were arrested in Tanzania. That is Brother DAUGY and John Freshie. The first allegation, because Mr. Dad came on camera and said they were arrested because of filming in Tanzania. Then David Jr. came on camera, said that they were arrested when they were trying to buy something in Swahili. Now, in my deep consultation, my deep investigation now proved that they were arrested when they were trying to buy hookahs in Tanzania. Ladies and gentlemen, let us watch this clip. Then I'll be telling us what happened, why they were arrested, and what the law of Tanzania is saying, and what might be the repercussion of their behavior. Stay tuned.
Say, Dan, you know what? Your blood has really catch up by the police in Tanzania and in Tarime, guys. You know, in Tarime, yeah, my brother, the police have really arrested him because, yeah, I can't say anything. Yeah, I was filming.
After watching the two clips of Mr. Dan and David Jr., ladies and gentlemen, as this story continues to develop, a completely different version of event is now circulating online. Initially, some individuals close to the situation reportedly suggested that Brother DAUGY and John Freshie had been arrested because of filming activities in Tanzania. However, a new allegation has also emerged on social media claiming that the two were alleged involved in seeking the services of what we call pros, commonly referred to as buying hookahs. Ladies and gentlemen, in East Africa street language, we call them they went to buy Malaya. At this stage, there is no public available court document, police statement, or official government communication that it has been confirming these allegations. That means viewers should be very careful. So there are now two completely narrative. Version 1, the arrest was done or related to filming activities. Version 2, the arrest was related to alleged soliciting of pros. So the truth may be one of those versions. The truth may be combination of both, or the truth may be something completely different that has not yet been disclosed publicly. So as a responsible commentator of the day, we must separate facts from allegations. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the first time Brother DAUGY has been arrested because of the same. This reminds me when he was in Nairobi, the same individual was arrested, and not arrested, he was like he went and bought the same people that we are talking about, the hookahs. Then his phone was stolen, money was stolen, then he came on camera, started lying. So ladies and gentlemen, let me start with what we call the hookahs allegation. Is it true? And what does the law say? And let me speak hypothetical. If authorities were investigating allegations involving pros-related activities, then the legal discussion changes completely. The issue will no longer be about YouTube filming permits. Instead, it will be because of matters of criminal or public orders law. Question investigators may ask include, were these individuals attempting to procure sexual services? Was money exchanged? Was there solicitation? So was there any evidence such as messages, recordings, or witness statement? Were any local laws allegedly violated? So The exact consequence would depend on the fact and the specific offenses alleged by the authorities. And let me discuss about why the filming story still matters, depending on what Mr. Dan himself came on camera and stated. So when it comes to filming, I've seen a lot of YouTubers in Nyabuhansi who are going against what the law says, especially East African Community Free Movement. So many people misunderstood the East African community. The East African community allows citizens or members country to move relatively free between member states. Countries include, for those who they don't know what is East African community, we have Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, DRC, Congo, Somalia. So, however, free movement does not mean unrestricted activity. A Kenyan may enter Tanzania, a Tanzania may enter Kenya, but each visitor must still obey the law of the country they enter. So, the EAC protects movement. Actually, it does not automatically protect commercial filming, journalism, broadcasting, drone operation, or professional media activity. That distinction is very important, because the other time I saw when David Jr. went to Tanzania and started filming with his Mwita. He started filming Mwita. And Tanzania is not the same as Kenya. Kenya, the law to some extent, we have that what we call democracy in some extent when it comes to filming and these other things. So, let me say why. If Brother DAUGY was just a tourist and supposed he crossed the border as a visitor can genuinely or generally walk around towns, visit market, meet people, talk personal photos, record personal memories. With that, if I walk while recording myself, there is nothing bad about that. But most countries permit ordinary tourist photograph. So the problem begins when filming appears professional, commercially, or journalistic or documentary in nature. So then authorities ask, who are you? Why are you filming for? Who do you have permission? Is there commercial content? Are you interviewing the public? Are you earning money from the footage? So these questions can determine whether a permit is required. In Tanzania, filming rules. Tanzania has specific system for foreign journalists, photographers, filmmakers, documentary producers, and media workers. This reminds me, during Tanzania's election, even Larry Madowo, the CNN journalist from Kenya, was not allowed to go and do journalist in Tanzania because he was trying to expose the evil act of Tanzanian government. So, government information says that foreigners seeking assignment as journalists, photographers, television producers, filmmakers, researchers, and related media personnel are required to apply for permits before undertaking such activity. So, Tanzania also maintains film production permit requirement through the Film Regulatory Framework. Permit application may be required project description, filming location, and scripts of synopsis and approval before filming projects. Ladies and gentlemen, therefore, if authorities believe a YouTube production amounts to documentary, journalistic, and commercial filming, they might investigate whether the creator possessed the required authorization. So, if it is true, Brother DAUGY went to Tanzania to do that, of which I rubbish those claims, because what Mr. Dan was trying to do, he was trying to protect his brother so as to be seen as a sentinel to the entire YouTube street. And let me say this: does YouTube count as a journalist? And this is where things become complicated. 20 years ago, journalism meant newspapers and television stations. Today, YouTubers interview people, TikTok creators report events, Facebook creators conduct investigation, independent creators make documentaries. So, authorities may sometimes view certain online content as media activity. A creator may think, I am only a YouTuber. Authorities may think you are functioning as a journalist. So, that difference is becoming the legal issue, and what actually I believe Brother DAUGY might have been detained because of these two. One, filming. Two, went to buy some hookers. So, without official charges, we can only discuss possibility authorities might investigate allegations such as filming without required authorization. So, if filming was considered professional media work and recording restricted locations. So, like in Kenya, we have some restricted and sensitive places that we are not even supposed to filming, yeah, especially when it comes to government facilities, security installations, border areas, or sensitive infrastructure often have been restricted because, like now, it is alleged that these individuals were arrested in a place called Tarime. Tarime is like 30 kilometers from the border post. And you know, within East Africa, there are some places that we can go up to. There is a diameter that we can go up to without passport or without something, yeah. So for it is like, I don't know how many kilometers away, yeah. There is that zoning. Like right now in Kenya, you know, Tanzania cannot go beyond Migori without having a passport, but they can go from Isibania, Nyabohanse, Mabera, Karamu up to Migori. So you're not supposed to pass Migori without passport, but there inside you can. Same to Kenyans, yeah. You can go to Sirari freely. You can go to there between I don't remember the places that is called. Then you can go up to Tarime freely without, even Kenyan motorcycles can go up to those places. But passing those places now requires you to be having passport. So let me talk about what public orders concern. So if filming attract crowd or disrupted activities, because for me, I really believe that they were filming when they went to buy these people. So this disrupted the activity because they were like, you know, Tanzania is not like Kenya. Kenya, you can film, you can show on the camera, this is what is happening. But for them, they are kind of illiterate to some extent. Not even illiteracy, they are kind of behind it to some extent, yeah. You know, Kenya, you can go to Nairobi, film the street hook. Those people, you can film them with nobody will ask them, yeah, or nobody will ask you. So let me speak about if a visitor entered under one category but engaged in activities required another authorization. So sometimes police may temporarily detain individual while verifying the identity and purpose. So these are possibilities only, not accusations against Brother DAUGY or John Tefreshi. And let me ask, is he protected? And I know a lot of people will be asking those questions. So any person arrested in Tanzania remains entitled to legal protection. So generally, these include being informed of allegations, access to legal representation, court appearance will be required, opportunity to challenge accusations, and fair hearing procedures. Being a foreigner does not remove legal protection. Being a YouTuber does not remove legal protection. Being arrested does not mean guilty. And let me say this: Tanzanian government and Kenyan government, they are somehow different when it comes to these cases. That is why sometimes I usually tell people it is better to be arrested in your country than being arrested in a foreign country, especially being arrested in Tanzania. Tanzania, first thing, when you go to the police cell, the latrines that there where you are, there is where they are. We have the latrine, so you do your all shit in the same room that you are in, yeah. But in Kenya, you see like the latrines are outside. Another thing, yeah, the government does not provide food for those people who have been arrested, yeah. So it is the mandate of your family to bring you food, or you have to liaise with the officer so that you must be having money. You know, it is like, okay, you must be having money so that they buy you food and bring it to you. And that is what has been happening, because I remember, and I don't want to say this, yeah, sometimes, just somebody's calling me and it's very much. Sometimes these things happen, they happen, so that is what it takes. So, like now, Brother DAUGY and John Tefreshi, they have to spend from their pocket before they are taken to they have been charged, and there is not easy. This person is calling me, and there it is not easy. It is not easy, especially when they know you're a Kenyan or you're a foreigner. You're being intimidated that much. You're not being you're being discriminated even those police cells, and there is a lot of bullying in those police custody. So let me say what charges. So this person, sorry for that call. So some people might be asking what charges could exist. So if the issue is truly filming, the related or possible allegations could involve operating without required permits, immigration related violation, breach of social media regulation, and filming restricted areas. So however, nobody can accurately state that the exact charge could until authorities announce it. Any YouTuber or YouTube channel claiming certain without official documents may simply be speculating. So, but there is a thing that is rising now. There was an allegation that these individuals were being asked to produce 50,000 Kenyan shillings, and after some minute, another call was made, and they were now talking about 40,000 Kenyan shillings. So, some people will be asking about fines. Penalty vary enormously. So, some situations results to warning letters, administrative penalty, permit-related sanction, deportation, and court fine. So, film-related regulation in Tanzania include permit requirements and fee structures, but the actual penalties depend entirely on specific offenses alleged. So, therefore, nobody can honestly tell viewers the exact fine unless the charge sheet is shown, and that is the whole reality. And from this video, we are going to learn a lot of things, because some people, or I know a lot of viewers will be asking question, can a Kenyan film in Tanzania? Yes, but certain professional or commercial activities may require permits depending on the nature of filming. And some people can ask, does the EAC, this is East African Community Free Movement, allow unrestricted filming? The answer is no. Free movement and permission to conduct media activities are different legal activities, so you can't be arrested for that. And some people can ask, can police arrest someone simply of holding a camera? Generally, authorities need a legal basis for detention or investigation. So that is why I'm ruling out any possibility why if they were arrested for filming. I'm ruling that out. So there is other thing that these individuals went to Tanzania to do, and so far we have got that they went to buy those people. So some people will ask, is Brother DAUGY and John Tefreshi automatically guilty because, or automatically guilty because he was arrested? The answer is no. Any arrest not proof of guilt is not, you are not guilty, yeah? So I've seen some people ask in the comment section, could he be deported? If immigration violations are proven, deportation can be one of the possible outcomes depending on circumstances. So, some people are asking, can they be released without charges? Yes, if the investigation sometimes end without prosecution. And let me say, why do many YouTubers film in Tanzania without problem? So, either comply with the local authorities, film in ordinary public station, or obtain necessary permission, you won't be done anything. Because I've seen a lot of people filming. When people go to Dar es Salaam, they go filming. So why or we should or what should YouTubers do before entering other countries? Research first about all the immigration rules, media, filming, and drone regulation. So people have been asking, can David Jr. help their friend? So friends can provide support. I saw Matinde and David Jr. They were talking like saying they want to go to Tanzania, do this, blah blah blah. They never wanted to say why they are arrested. So legal assistance, publicity, or contact family, but legal decision remains with the authorities and the courts, and that is the reality. So they'll go help them out because they would need like 40,000 Kenyan shilling. So let them pay the amount of money, because Tanzania is not easy. Tanzania is not easy. Better to be arrested in Kenya, but not in Tanzania. Yeah, you know, sometimes we talk from experience. We have seen this happening. This has happened to ourselves. So there is a lesson that we are learning here. Let us never assume that because you have crossed the border legally, every activity you intend to perform, it is automatically legal. Ladies and gentlemen, from this discussion, we are really learning a lot of things. And having discussed those things, I'll be now discussing other things that are coming up. So the brother DAUGY and Jonte Fresh's story has now become more complicated. What started as a discussion about filming rights, East African community movement, and content creation law has now been overshadowed by allegations related to prostitution. So at the moment, there are more questions than answers until authorities release official information or court proceedings become public. Every claim should be treated as an allegation rather than an established fact. So the most important thing for the viewers is to wait for evidence, official statement, court recordings before reaching conclusion. The difference between a rumor and a proven fact is often the difference between misleading an audience and informing one. So a lot of things, I know a lot of people from different camps will come and say that this is what is happening, because I've seen a lot of people that they call themselves positive have come on camera and say that they were filming without knowing what was taking place. So for you or for your YouTube video, I would recommend presenting both versions as allegations and repeatedly reminding viewers that neither should be treated as confirmed unless supported by official police or court documents. So this protects your credibility and reduces the risk of what you are doing and potentially defamatory claims. Having listened to that, let me end this video from there, and let us stick to the East African community laws the way they are being stipulated, and let us remain and retain peace. Peace, peace, peace. Goodbye for now.